Anfield, match not to lose, your source for all things Everton. I'm Jay Pelton. I'm here today to look ahead to our next game, which is Liverpool away in the Merseyside derby. Not a game I'm particularly looking forward to be honest with you. I think obviously fans on both sides, plenty of them won't be looking forward to this game. I'm sure there'll be a percentage of Evertonians and then a big percentage of probably Liverpool fans who are looking forward to this and almost relishing it a little bit. And I'm certainly one of them who just looks at a derby and just thinks let's just call it a draw from now until eternity. But then at the same time, when you do win one, as you did a couple of years back, actually only last year now, I think, it is just like the best feeling ever. So it's an interesting one. I'd say it's a game I'm not looking forward to, but stripping aside, taking away from the fact that the derby, I think Everton are going to an Arsenal or a City or Chelsea at the moment in time, I'd sit there and think we've got a chance of doing something. We've got a chance to give them a game and hopefully coming out with a result. And that should be how we feel, against them. I think, focusing on them for a minute. They've had a really good start to the season in one way. They've won every game. Fair play to them there. At the same time, though, 3 of the games they were 2-0 up and they gave it away. I wouldn't say against any elite team. It's not like they were playing in those games Arsenal, City, Real Madrid, anyone like that. They were playing a good Bournemouth side, obviously a good Newcastle side who had 10 players, and then a Atletico Madrid team who were massively out of sorts, and then they really threw that one away, it looked like. Then the other couple of games, and they did play Arsenal, I didn't watch that game to be fair, but it seemed like a fair result. And then Burnley, I thought they were massively out of ideas and very lucky to get a penalty late on. God knows what the Burnley lad was thinking there, but I think it's been a real mixed bag for them, and I'm sure, whether they want to admit it or not, they can't keep winning games like that. They can't keep going 2-0 up and then getting a late goal. They can't keep being neck and neck with a team and looking like they're probably going to run out of ideas and score a worldie or, get a ridiculous penalty given for them. Ridiculous in the sense that it was a terrible decision from the Burnley lads, rather than the fact that it shouldn't have been given. But I kind of watch them and you think, okay, well, if they are on form going forward, they can score 2, 3, 4 goals, you think. But there's nothing that's said to me so far, apart from maybe the Arsenal game, I didn't watch it, where you sit there and think, okay, well, defensively they are getting better. They seem to be almost getting worse in some ways, going back towards their own goal, and they had a lot of rotation there. Right back, like 2 or 3 players play there already. Same at left back. Can't had a poor start to the season. Obviously got Van Dijk there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what Liverpool come out. And again, you think if you can just keep them at bay and not give away a couple of goals like those other 3 teams did, then why can't you have a chance at doing something, especially when whether it's Beto or Barry, Grealish and Dye, Dewsbury Hall, Dibbling, whoever it might be, Everton have got good players going forward and counter-attacking. So you sit there and think, we can defend well on Saturday. We've got more than half a chance of actually doing something. Obviously, down the years in Anfield, Everton's record's been really poor. 1 win there since 99, no win since 99 with fans. Not like I think that massively matters, to be fair. And Everton have, without question, been unlucky in derby games down Anfield over the last 5-10 years. Last season had a couple of good chances, hit the post. We hit the post a couple of years ago, and then they scored on the counter-attack, which is crazy. Canale should have been sent off a couple of years back. We had the Pickford game where we should have won that one, and I can't believe we didn't win that. Never mind the fact that obviously the ridiculous goal we conceded. But at the same time, we've also had a couple of really bad showings, a couple of maulings, the 3-0 game under Moyes, the Martinez 4-0ers, the 5-2 under Silva when he was playing Michael Keane on the halfway line against the quickest attack in Europe. So it's not like we've been in the game every single year. We've gone there, I'm not saying that, but certainly the last 5-6 years we've given them a decent game, and Liverpool have been very good in that time, unfortunately, for us. So again, something else to take solace from, take a bit of confidence from. But Dave Moyes' record at Anfield is absolutely appalling. There's no getting away from that, there's no escaping that. He's gone to Anfield with a couple of decent teams, whether they're Everton side, a couple of West Ham teams are good that went there, and whether it's a mental thing, whether it's just a coincidence, I'm not too sure, but it'll be something he really wants to put right. He put a couple of things right over the last few years, and I'm sure he'll be keen to make it so that winning there as Everton manager is something he's definitely going to want to do. It'll be interesting to see what team he goes out with. Obviously, I think in years gone by, it's been the case of knife to a gunfight, going to Anfield, Old Trafford, Stamford Bridge, etc. Just try not to lose. And it's a difficult one. You can't sit there and say, well, Everton should go to Liverpool, try and tear them open because they will get torn open themselves. But you can go there with an element and an edge of wanting to try and attack and disrupt them a little bit and not have it so it's 90 minutes of backs to the wall, because even Burnley, at times got forward and counter-attacked them and stretched them a little bit. So we obviously don't want to be thinking just, okay, sit in for 90 minutes and see what we can do. From a corner or a set piece or whatever, it needs to be Everton. We're going to have an attacking edge to them, I think, on the weekend, and if they do that, they've got a chance in terms of selection. You imagine James Garner will probably continue at left back, Michael Keane as well, Jacob Ryan at right back. It's still a massively makeshift back four. I even look at the fact that they've had to play Szoboszlai at right back. Okay, not ideal, obviously, but at least there they've still got someone who's done that role before, and I think in some ways suits it, and ultimately he's hasn't had to do absolutely loads of defending there. But even so, we're talking James Garner, who plays in a similar position to Szoboszlai, obviously isn't as good as him, but he's playing left back, and it's like he's totally out of shape, out of kilter. So that's still going to be a shame. I'd imagine he'll go back in there with just a gay. I'd be surprised if he starts Merlin Roll, but I wouldn't be against that. I imagine it'll be Timmy Rabunum again, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish and I, and then I probably would go for Tierno Barry up front. I thought Better was so poor against Villa, and it seems to be a case that if a player comes in and does well, or the player maybe isn't quite doing the business, and he will get replaced in this team, and that's what competition for places is all about. So I'd probably rather see Barry in there on the weekend. But obviously Better scored in the Merseyside derby at Goodison last season, and I would love it if we could have a striker who has a bit of a knack of scoring against them. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? So they've had some really bad players who have had a knack of doing that, let me tell you. But yeah. And then I imagine for Liverpool, so they've just got Frimpong back. He played in the week. I think Kerkers came on again last night. McAllister could obviously potentially be missing, which would be good, but obviously it looks like Isak is obviously in the frame for them and made his debut in midweek, so he's another player to be wary of. I think ultimately Everton got to go into this game and think without question that they can get something from it. If they go into it trying to defend and sit back like you would against the prime City when they're in full flow, or even a prime Liverpool in some cases, then I think it could be a long day at the office. But yeah, I'm already like sweating just thinking about it. Just 90 minutes of just wanting to be doing anything else and watching football at that moment. But yeah, we can all hope and pray this is going to be the game where we get one over on them, because it will feel even sweeter than the one in 2021. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Who do you want to see play and what are your score predictions? Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time. Nice one.